Eagle fans, it is Week 10. I'm glad you're here for the Week 10 Coaches Show. I'm here with head coach Stephen Fitzhugh. Want to thank McDonald's for being our weekly Coaches Show sponsor. And we're coming off a big win against Farity, 52-26, to go to 6-0 in district, 9-0 overall. And, of course, we look forward to the much-anticipated matchup with the Oak Grove Tigers coming up this Thursday. But before we get to the Tigers, Coach, I think there's some things we can talk about from the game this past Friday. And I guess we can start off with this. Last week we started off with the same thing. Our offensive line was fantastic. If you can take the ball in your first 8 possessions and score a touchdown on 8 possessions in a row to start the game, it doesn't matter what the other team does a lot of times. It's a good way to win a football game.
That's a very positive way to start a game. But no, our offense executed well. I mean, again, our offensive line opened up holes for the running game, gave time for Luke in the passing game. He had his best game of the year. And, again, I thought our offense really executed well. So, again, real proud of that execution. No penalties, which is a huge plus. And so no turnovers. Those are all things that, again, at this time of the year, that's what you want to be doing is don't beat yourself. And just execute. Yeah,
really clean football game, top to bottom. And another thing that I do want to mention is and ask you about, Cam Vullion handled the kicking duties. And, extra points are one thing. You can go for 2 anytime. But the way that he kicked the ball off and managed the field position for the Trojans, I thought he did a fantastic job.
He did. He stepped in and did a great job. He had practiced extra points, but we hadn't, done a whole lot on the kickoffs. But his placement on kickoffs, putting the ball where we needed it to go, he did a super job, and our guys covered well. Aiden Eldridge had 5 tackles on kickoff alone. And so, again, Vullion stepped in and did a great job.
Well, Aiden had a good game overall. You mentioned the tackles on the kickoff coverage. He led our team in overall tackles. He had 12. It was kind of a breakout game with him, but when I looked at the total tackles, Andon Melton had 10. Those were the only 2 players that had double-digit tackles. And so the back end of our defense, it turns out, had their work cut out for them the other night. Caleb Ellis, the quarterback for Ferriday, had a really good night, 18 of 27, 344 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Much of that damage came in the second half. I do want to mention their 2 leading receivers, Desmond Jefferson, number 10. He had 7 catches for 163 and 3 touchdowns, and Darian Brown for number 2 had 6 catches for 164 yards and a touchdown. Really unorthodox way that they threw the ball down the field, but those receivers were able to get. He did. They got behind our defense, and he would throw it up, and they go make a catch. So I guess I want to ask you, is that an area of concern or?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when that's the number one thing you practice on during the week, saying this team throws the ball, we got to eliminate the big plays, and then we gave up, at least 10 big plays. Yeah, that's an area of concern without a doubt, and so. That's something that we have to get corrected because, again, you got to be able to stop the run and the pass in high school football. And, and so, we played some teams that focused predominantly on run. We knew Ferriday was a team that was going to focus primarily on pass. And they didn't surprise us. We knew going into the game that they were going to throw the football. And so when you come up against a team that they're going to have a balanced attack, that they can do both the run and the pass, you gotta be, like I say, you gotta be able to stop both in high school football.
Well, I talked to somebody after the game, somebody that you talked to, and they said you told them that you needed to fire your DB coach. And so, did you?
I've tried to fire myself for year after year, and still looking for that person to come take my place. So I sleep a lot better. Have nightmares about receivers running wide open behind us, and so. Like I say, it is what it is.
It is what it is, and again, if you can score on your first 8 possessions, then that really gives you a little bit of cushion for your defense to get burned a couple times and learn from that. But our efficiency on offense was really good. Macon had his 5th consecutive 100-yard game, 17 carries, 144 yards, and 3 touchdowns, and he went over 1,000 yards on the season. He's averaging 8.5 yards a carry, and I just thought he he's skilled, he's talented, he runs hard. Man, he's tough to bring down, but also he's durable. I mean, to get those carries that add up, especially it seems like it's early in the game, or not early, but the first half where he gets most of his carries. It wasn't so lucky this past week because the team, the Trojans kind of made a comeback. But what a season Macon's having.
He is, and again, senior who first year as a full-time starter, stepping in and make the most of his opportunities. And, he's a battler. And, just again, tough, hard-nosed grit that, sees the hole and uses his speed. And like I say, really has had several games this year where he's had 15 to 20 carries and shown a lot of durability.
Yeah, and to go along with him in the backfield, Jude Turner, I thought he had an outstanding game. He had that one catch and run that's kind of like a highlight reel thing. I mean, there's not many players that can do that, Coach.
No, he's physical. He's physical. When he catches the ball, you're going to know that you tackled him, and he's going to put second thoughts in some of those defenders' head. Yeah,
and I know we talk about these guys every week, but when they keep performing the way they do and really pushing the offense down the field by carrying the ball, and Jude this week catching the ball, he had 6 catches for 144 yards and 5 catches for 160 yards. Didn't score receiving, but then he had 6 carries and 44 yards and 4 touchdowns. And so when you can get down that goal line, having a guy like Jude to punch it in, I mean, it's
that's big. That's big. So 200 all-purpose yards for him was another good night. Like I say, him and making both. And again, Luke played his best game, offensive line, receivers. So. Again, our offense is staying balanced right now, and they're like I say, they're executing well. So that's what we just need to continue to do.
So when we made the trip to Farity, there were a couple things that I noticed, and I don't know if it had an impact on the game. I think that maybe there's a chance that it did. One is the field conditions. They weren't terrible. It wasn't muddy, but it definitely, as the game went on, the field it seemed like more and more slippery. The other thing that I noticed was it was senior night, and there was a buzz with the Trojan faithful there, kind of brought some energy. And then when Caleb Ellis got going throwing the ball, it was like he felt it, or he had some type of rhythm, or was in the zone, because he was dropping it in there with some great throws. But we were able to win the game. So when we look at the season that's happened, another thing I want to talk about, you mentioned they were a throwing team. We played running teams. But it looks like we're a balanced team. We have 1,762 yards passing and 1,677 yards rushing, and it doesn't get much more balanced than that, Coach.
That's pretty good.
It is. I think Luke's having a great season. You mentioned him. He didn't have to throw the ball down the field a lot. There was one particular play that I wanted to ask you about, and it was the one right before halftime to Ridge. Is that something that you worked on against Ferriday, or is it something that's installed? Or
no, we've had that throughout the year, and Coach Vadrine dialed up a couple of screenplays right there that Turner got chunky yards on the first play, and then we were able to get the timeout with 1 second left, and get that last touchdown screen to Ridge, and so that was huge to be able to get a score right before half, and then to get the ball back to start the second half, because it's 28-14 right there with 1 second left.
That's right.
And so for him to score, make it 35 to 14, and then score again right there coming out of half, that was huge.
Yeah, so with Jude's performance receiving the ball, you've got Jude, and you've got Cam Vullion, and you've got Patrick Turpin, 3 receivers with over 20 catches on the season. So it's really nice to be able to distribute the ball, keep the defenses honest, not being able to focus on one guy. Vullion had a nice catch the other night. Another thing is we have 14 interceptions on the season on defense. That's averaging over 1 a game, but I think we've had an interception every single game this season, if I remember right. Maybe, did we have one against Mangum?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think we've had one every single game.
Except the other night.
Oh, yeah, except the other night. That's right.
Yeah. So we had a fumble recovery the other night, but, I didn't realize that. But, so again, if defense can create turnovers, offense has done a good job of capitalizing them on. That's just, again, a big momentum swing for your team.
Okay. Well, again, great win, 6-0 in District 2-2A. I can't say it's surprising. I liked our team from day one, and I really like our team now, seeing how they've grown, how our offensive line really just controlled the line of scrimmage the other night, and our guys were able to catch the ball. Luke was able to throw it and run it. But again, it sets up this huge match against Oak Grove. I think there's just a lot riding on this. And a lot of it is secondary, other than hey, we just want to beat Oak Grove, So we're going to talk about that in just a minute. When we come back, we're going to talk to John Larkin Turner, our left guard, here in just a minute, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about Oak Grove in just a little bit. Stay tuned.
There are 2 Big Mac burgers now? Never had a Big Mac.
If you're gonna try your first Big Mac, you gotta go with the original. Can't go wrong with the classics, right?
Nah. If you're gonna try something new, go with the new chicken Big Mac. It's got special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, and 2 chicken patties
on a sesame seed bun.
Stop saying everything I'm saying. I'm not. Yes, you are. No, you are. No, you are.
So what will it be? The Big Mac or the chicken Big Mac?
Yes.
The Chicken Big Mac. It's not a Big Mac. Get it while you can.
Welcome back to the Week 10 Coaches Show. I had a chance to talk to Coach Fitzhugh about the Farity game. Great win for the Eagles. And then in a moment, we're going to talk with him about the upcoming Oak Grove match. And I know I don't know if y'all wore those on purpose for this week or wore them at the same time.
Every day.
Yeah, every day this week.
Yeah.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm here with number 64, John Turner, and he's got his brother, number 32, Jude Turner. You've seen them both on the field this year, doing a great job, especially on offense, but also rotating in on defense and special teams some. And so, a little bit different this year than what we've seen as a junior and a sophomore. You used to carry the ball, play that B-back, fullback position. Talk about the move to left guard this year and what you did. Well, first, what you did to prepare for that move.
I mean, it really wasn't that different. I was just planning on this summer kind of doing whatever the team needed. It was obviously going to work to be probably strive to be one of the better fullbacks come through OCS. But, I mean, kind of duty called. Coach Mo pulled me to the side and was like, look, well, you can play fullback and we can be a good team, or you could move to offensive line and we could possibly go win a state championship. And I was like, Coach, I want to go win a state championship. So it's been kind of all on from there. So. Yeah,
and you spent a lot of time preparing for that, both learning the position and also getting physically ready to play that position.
Yeah, it wasn't too hard to learn. I mean, at playing B-back like I did for so long, I mean, you kind of know what everybody's doing in every given circumstance. I mean, to me, B-back's probably one of the tougher positions to know how to do. Now, offensive line is tough physical-wise, but, I mean, with having that background, it helped me a lot moving into that position.
Yeah, and so and you kind of you got an injury earlier this year, huh? And now you get. Why don't you show the camera?
Yeah,
let me see. It's got a lightning bolt, and right here it says beat Oak Grove, and mean and nasty.
Got my O-line on here, my running backs, and then Luke, obviously.
All right, so I do want to talk about that because I mean we're 9-0, and we couldn't be 9-0 without a prolific offense like we've had. And part of that offense is your brother, Jude, over here. He's got 18 touchdowns on the season. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I know. It's way more than I ever had.
It is. Let's see. I have it written down here. He's got 832 total yards and 18 touchdowns. Yeah. So that's all purpose. And a lot of that has to do with his ability to run the ball, break tackles. But, Jude, I want to ask you this. What's it like when you get up there and you see number 64 right there?
Man, it's a blessing being up there and running behind John, knowing that he would lay his life on the line for me, and being able to have John and Micah and all them communicate and being there, especially with Jackson and Bo, talking to each other, communicating, knowing what to do, and having Luke and Macon in the backfield. Man, they're smart, and I mean, it's a blessing.
Yeah, I love watching this offense. It seems like there's and this is just from what I see. It seems like that there's a chemistry or a bond between everybody that's on the field when you are playing offense. Am I seeing that correctly?
Oh, it is 100% definitely a very tight knit group. I mean, all of us are really close. A lot of us grew up together playing football. Like my class, we grew up playing football forever. I mean, that's also one thing that brings us together super close, but also we've worked with each other in different positions and standards. So we know how everybody's brain works. Like, I mean, it's definitely a chemistry type deal. And having him in the backfield, I don't even have to think. I mean, he's going to do what I do. I mean, it's kind of like that brotherly think together. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, we saw it a couple weeks ago against Mangum. The same play 3 times in a row where you pull around the side and he's right behind you, and think about at least 15 yards each time that happened. Finished it off with a touchdown. So I thought that was pretty cool.
I like running the ball and put my hand on their back and feel what they do.
Yeah,
it's
you're
nice.
Like, hey, let's go, John. I'm here. I'm with you. All right, both of you guys, I do want to ask you this. You mentioned all the stuff, all the history with these guys that you're playing with, and I'm sure you two played a lot together growing up. Whenever y'all did anything, but it can't always be football. What do you guys like to do besides? I'll start with you, John. What do you like to do besides football?
I mean, in previous years I've run track, but I'm not going to be running track this year. I mean, I've ran it strictly just to get faster for football, and football's kind of sadly coming to the end. I don't even want to talk about it.
No, we still got some games left, so it's okay. It's okay.
But, I mean, used to play soccer, but I don't think I'm going to do much of anything. I think me and Jude are actually both going to make a comeback and go play soccer just to kind of give me something else to do before we work out. And then in the end of the school year, I'm just going to go work.
Okay, so you're gonna start working next year. What is it? Agriculture?
Yeah, I'll be working with Dad on the farm.
Okay, all right. Well, that sounds great. What do you like to do, Jude, besides play soccer?
Yeah, I mean, sports in general. I like just going and competing and doing stuff. And also, I love working, being out there on the farm. That's always fun.
Well, very cool. All right, you mentioned what's going to happen after high school, so you're going to work in the agriculture business. I've talked to some people whose farms, and I don't know the connection or how it works, but you inspect their crops or you do something with their crops, and they said they love having you guys out there, not just because you're great football players or that you're just really nice, but you do a good job with the agricultural things. All right, we got Oak Grove this week.
I mean, it's obviously big.
It's big. It's big.
History poured into our family because, I mean, my dad he graduated in 98. He was part of the 97 class. So those stories of just beating Oak Grove for a district championship and then for a state. I mean, the history of that rivalry's kind of been poured into me and Jude since we played football when we were little bitty.
Yeah. Our house is just up and down about this week. I mean,
the whole
awesome.
family.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. So y'all going to wear this every day though? That's the message that I'm hearing loud and clear.
That will be.
Yeah. And then so after that, what are you hoping to? I mean, what's your goal for the year? I mean,
obviously, to achieve a state championship, that'd be wonderful. I mean, that's what every high school football player's dream is. I mean, we've achieved it once my sophomore year. There was a lot of guys that poured a lot of effort into that season. I mean, we saw the outcome. And, I mean, the guys, especially starter guys, I mean, they know what's ahead. They know what price you have to pay to get there. And, I mean, we're all in for it. Last year was a heartbreaker. Shouldn't have lost that game. But, I mean, that was just the Lord's will. And we're just going to carry on and do our own thing through the end of the year.
Use it as fuel.
Yes,
right? Yeah, and so, that's one thing is winning a state championship is not easy. It's one of the most difficult things that you can do in all of high school sports. And so wish you guys the best. Look forward to watching y'all the rest of this season. And hopefully we'll beat Oak Grove.
Yes, sir.
This Thursday. So thank you again. And thank y'all for tuning in. We'll be back with Coach Fitzhugh here in just a minute.
There are 2 Big Mac burgers now? Never had a Big Mac.
If you're gonna try your first Big Mac, you gotta go with the original. Can't go wrong with the classics, right?
Nah. If you're gonna try something new, go with the new Chicken Big Mac. It's got special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, and 2 chicken patties
on a sesame seed bun.
Stop saying everything I'm saying. I'm not. Yes, you are. No, you are. No, you are.
So what will it be? The Big Mac or the Chicken Big Mac?
Yes.
The Chicken Big Mac. It's not a Big Mac. Get it while you can.
Welcome back, Eagle fans. We're going to talk about the upcoming Oak Grove game. Again, want to thank McDonald's. Want to thank our seniors this season. We've talked to all of our senior football players. We're going to try to get our senior managers on here in the next week or two going into the playoffs. But I think everybody's kind of wanting to hear what's going to happen this Thursday when we play the Oak Grove Tigers. And Coach, I'm excited about it. I've seen the shirts. I've been there for the last several years when we've played this game, and I can honestly say maybe I'm the lucky charm. We're 3-0 in the last 3 years against Oak Grove, and nobody outside of Oak Grove knows this team better than probably you, Coach. So tell us about this team a little bit that we're going to see on Thursday.
I mean, they got a great ball team. They're 8-1. Their only loss is to Calvary in week 1. It's a unique situation that we have never played each other in week 10. I mean, we have had a great rivalry through the years. They do a great job. Coach Gregory and their staff over there, much respect for them, their program. And we've always played each other. Even if we're not in district, we try to get things matched up in a non-district game. And so sometimes it's early in the season when we play. But we've never played week 10. And so, again, that provides a lot of excitement. But, again, just a great rivalry there through the years. They got another talented team this year. They're, a line-up smash-mouth football team that's going to play solid defense. But these past several years, they've been able to throw the ball around a lot, too, with Jackson Bradley back there at quarterback. Of course, he's a Louisiana Tech commit. JT Layton is a big target for them at tight end. He's committed to Central Arkansas, and just a big body that, they use him all over the field. They'll line him up in the backfield and give him the ball. They'll throw it to him, run behind him, and like I say, they use him a lot of different ways. And then got Jay Freeman will be back, and he's playing well for them this year as their tailback. Brody Stewart's another receiver that they have that does solid things on offense. So they're that balanced attack offensively. And then defensively, again, they're going to play that stingy defense. And, got a big defensive line. Isaiah Joles was an all-state player last year, number 78 for them. Good set of linebackers that, Seth Ray is one that wears that number 31 jersey that's kind of been their pride. That's a jersey for them that they put that on the stud through the years. And then just solid guys in the secondary. So a solid team that again, it's a great rivalry. And it just so happens that this year we both have great records playing for the district championship. But it's one that you can go back through the years and throw out the records during this game. It's a rivalry game. And, we got the Beat Oak Grove shirts wearing around. They got the OCS, Buster shirts, slash through, sell donuts that say Beat OCS. And, so it's no secret. It's a great friendly rivalry that we're going to get on the field and try to beat the pulp out of each other. And it's like I say, it's a fun rivalry that both schools get up for, and again, lots of history there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a healthy rivalry. It's they're going to travel well. They're going to bring a large crowd to Eagle Stadium on Thursday night, and of course, I look forward to seeing that. I think about some of the recent games. I remember one, the game in 2020, and I remember that because I caught COVID while I was in their broadcast booth. I think Chad Strickland had a huge game that game, and then. I think about the rain game where we had the rain delay that was here, and it was close. And Landon Graves was the quarterback; he had a phenomenal game that game. So always exciting. And you mentioned it is a rivalry game, but here's the other thing: it is a district championship matchup. And here's the other thing: it means a lot for both teams when it comes to power ratings. Now, the Tigers are going to make the playoffs, and they're going to make a playoff run. Eagles are going to make the playoffs, make a playoff run. So I think more important than power ratings, more important than a district championship, although those things are great, is beating Oak Grove this week. I think that's at the top of the list. And so what type of message are you sending to your guys this week, about preparation mentally?
It comes down to, regardless, that's what we tell them every week, regardless of who we play, it comes down to the fundamentals of football. I mean, we've got to block. We've got to tackle. We got to catch the football, and just do your job. It's a puzzle piece on offense and on defense. You got 11 guys, and each one has a different job to do in a specific way, and you have to do your job, not somebody else's. And so, it's again, big rival game. But bottom line, when you get between the lines, it's going to come down to which team does things right the most. And so, that's the message we send to our guys is play with passion, play with intensity, enthusiasm, but you got to do things right. And again, that's what we've preached to them from day one is let's do all the little things right. let's get better from week 1 to week 2, week 2 to week 3, and so on and so on. And let's be playing our best football game when week 10 hits. And then for the playoffs, let's continue to get better each and every week. So that's what it comes down to. Like I say, the excitement, the rivalry, the media and everybody, they're going to build that up the most. But when it comes down to it, the game between the lines, which team does things right the most.
Okay, so last thing, let's play a game of what if. Okay, what impact is this going to have on our power ratings? What if we win the game? What if we're unable to win the game? Where does that put us moving forward?
Well, obviously a win. Each team, us and Oak Grove, has a lot of wins on the season, and the team that loses this game will get 9 power points for the opponent's win. The team that wins this game will get 18, power points, for this game. And so, there's a significant difference there. Obviously, 18 is a lot better than 9. That will help you as far as just moving up little notches, home playoff games, a little bit later in the playoffs, things such as that. So, that's some of the things that will be affected is being able to jump up in power ratings just a little bit more, because it comes down to, again, opponent wins and things such as that. Each week, all those things add up. But obviously, the biggest impact on the power rating is you get 10 points for the win. Mm-hmm. You're going to get credit for your opponent's wins as well. But that 10 points for winning the game, that's a big boost in power ratings.
And it could possibly mean a bye week going into the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think that would be that'd be great to have a bye week. So, Coach, I wish you all the best. And we've done 10 of these this year so far, and I know we got a couple more, Lord willing, that we'll have hopefully all the way to New Orleans. But we take care of business this Thursday and kind of see where it plays out. And hey, you got to beat the team that you're matched up against, no matter where you sit.
That's it. Playoffs, start. Everybody's 0-0, and it's a new season. But yeah, I appreciate you each week. You and Heath, y'all taking the time to do this. I don't think we've done this in any other years like this live. So y'all do a great job. I appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you. Appreciate the time. I know it has been a different week because of a Thursday game, and I think really the only adjustment that you made, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, is you just practiced on Sunday, right? You just moved your Monday practice to Sunday, moved everything a day up.
Right. Practice Sunday afternoon, and then being out of school on Tuesday, we practiced Tuesday morning, and just normal week. Just bumped everything up. So
we're going to be prepared. That's what you're saying.
Friday gets here one day early this week.
That's right. Well, again, thank you. And I look forward to this Thursday night. Look forward to seeing what's going to happen, in the near future. So again, want to thank McDonald's for sponsoring our weekly coaches show. And until next week, when we come back with the results of the Oak Grove at OCS matchup, and then look forward to the playoffs. Thanks for tuning in.